break out the fancy wardrobe.
You've got the collection. I gotta say, those are some pretty sweet jackets.
Thank you. Yeah.
Bow tie or regular tie?
It depends. We just did this Christmas tour where we did a bunch of Christmas songs and like Frank Sinatra songs and stuff like that.
That's why you had it.
We call it Las Posadas tour, and that's the second time. It's the second year that we did it. But yeah, I definitely had to up my tuxedo game. I had to go out and spend a lot of money on like the right wardrobe for it, so that I wasn't wearing the same thing every night. But it was really fun. All the shows were sold out. A lot of the money that we raised went to a really good charity. And it was nice to dress up every night and pretend to be Frank Sinatra. So that
is kind of cool. Yeah. I've been dying to know, because I'm not very talented when it comes to musically. How hard is it to play the harmonica and guitar at the same time?
At first, it's a little tricky. It's kind of like, I tell people, it's kind of like doing where you tap your head and rub your belly, and it's kind of once you get it down, then it's kind of easy. But yeah, I remember when I was first starting to learn how to do that. It was a funny story, because I think I was like maybe a freshman in high school or something when I first started doing that, and I had one harmonica, and it was in the key of C. For people that don't know, you need there's different keys of harmonicas that you need depending on whatever key you're playing in. But I didn't have the harmonica holder back then, so I had one harmonica, no holder. So what I had to do is like tape it to like a bookshelf, like at mouth level. With like masking tape, and that was how I was able to like go up to it and learn how to play. And then once I got good enough, my dad and my mom for my birthday bought me a whole harmonica set and the little neck brace to hold it up. So
that's kind of cool.
I know I had to prove that I could learn how to do it before they invested in the thing, because if they bought a whole harmonica set and I didn't know how to do it, then it would be a waste of money.
I hear it is pretty easy to break those reeds in there, though.
Yeah, the lifespan of a harmonica, it's not very long.
What do you do with them after you get done with them? Do you just toss them, or you try to fix them?
There's been times I toss them out of the crowd, and the fan gets to walk away with a little memento. But honestly, we just kind of they get lost or whatever. You end up finding them and ran in the couches and stuff like, man. And then you play it to see if it's a good one or a bad one. Usually it's busted somewhere.
Well, you got the new album that you just put out not too long ago. Here's to You, Here's to Me. And you put it on vinyl. Is this your first time on vinyl? Or
yeah, we actually put the last two. So the record before this one was Faded Memories, and that had Bourbon Whiskey and In the Dark and those songs on there. And then this last one we printed as well. So there's two vinyl.
Was that kind of cool the first time that you put something on vinyl?
I'm a big vinyl collector, and to have my own music on there was really kind of cool.
Is that weird to have that in your collection?
A little bit.
Your own album.
A little surreal. I'm like, man, I can't believe that. I can't believe I'm on a record like that. But yeah, it's really neat, and a lot of the fans seem to enjoy it too. And what's cool is we printed them individually, and then we have a third version where it's actually a double album, so it's both albums combined into one. So it's cool.
That is really fun. Well, you got to do a lot of really cool things this past year. You played with the Johnny Cash tribute at the Opry.
Yeah, I did do that, yeah.
That was a neat lineup that they had out there. Yeah. How'd you get on that bill?
You know what? The Opry had just... So I did my Opry debut back in March, and it was obviously a dream come true. It's anybody's dream to get that call and that invitation. So we did that, and half of my hometown flew into Nashville for it. I'm not kidding. I mean, my high school teachers and stuff, people I hadn't seen in years, And so it was really cool. And then they asked me to come back, I think in like June, like really quickly after that. They asked me to do my second appearance, and then they asked me to come back for the Johnny Cash thing. So that was my third appearance on the Opry. And I've got Stripes, and I did Jackson with Aaron.
Oh my gosh.
Aaron Enderlin. Yeah, so we did.
How cool
is that? We did 2 songs. It was awesome. It was awesome.
So when you were played there for your very first time, your debut last year, did you have trouble picking what songs you wanted to play on that stage?
No, not really, because the first time we did it, they let me do 2 songs. The second time I got to do 3, but I knew I had to do Bourbon Whiskey, which is like probably the most traditional country song that I've ever written that I've got. And I was like, man, if I'm gonna play the mother church of country music, I've got to do like the most country thing I've got, right? So I did that song, and then I did a mariachi song.
You had to bring it,
because that's a lot of people that follow me know that that's something that I do, and to be on that stage, and what's really crazy too is you have to like keep in mind that, you know, although I had a lot of people that I knew that came in for it, most of the people that are in the audience are from all over the place and are
all over
just
the
happen,
world, yeah.
all over the world, yeah, and just happen to be at the Grand Ole Opry that night. Some people, they might know who you are. Other people, like myself, you know, they're like, who's this guy?
Yeah.
And so it is a lot of, it's a lot of exposure too. And it's like, I told people, I was like, hey, I know a lot of people out there don't know who I am, but you know, this is my name. This is where I'm from, and where I'm from, you know, people sing in Spanish. So if it's okay with you, I'm going to do a little bit of that. And people, they ate it up. It was
they
really
went
cool.
nuts.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool. I mean, I guess because I don't speak Spanish. I didn't grow up around it. And hearing you sing in Spanish, like it's a beautiful thing. Like,
Thank
I don't know
you.
what it is about hearing a song in Spanish.
Well, it's a beautiful language.
It
You know,
is.
the just phonetically, you know, it sounds really, really pretty. So
How hard was it? I know you could speak it, but was it really easy learning to sing it that way too?
yeah, honestly, it's like as long as I've been singing in English, I was singing in Spanish. You know? You know, like when I
wow.
first started learning songs and I was first getting into music, and I must have been in middle school. That was what you know. I was learning songs that like my grandmother used to listen to and stuff. And honestly, when I first started getting into music, my parents were encouraging me like, oh, you ought to do this song,
Yeah.
or this song, and half the time they were in Spanish. So that was the weird thing for me growing up in Del Rio is I never really thought I'd never thought that was not normal or not.
Oh, yeah. I get that.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I didn't realize that it was such a unique thing. I thought it was just kind of
You thought it was universal. That's
yeah,
what
because
everybody
that's
does.
just how my friends were, and and like I had a little high school cover band that we were in. That was the very first band I was in, and we did songs in Spanish all the time. And it wasn't until I got a little bit older and I like left my hometown and got into college that I'd play songs in Spanish, and people
blown away
yeah,
by it.
but I was
Like, what is
I was like,
this?
dude, in my cover band, if we didn't play at least one song in Spanish, they, you know,
Would they throw a beer at you or
they'd throw tomatoes at us, man.
Throw
you know?
tomatoes at- Have you ever had anything
No,
thrown at
thank
you
God,
before?
no.
God, I hear some horror stories about that, like the beer cans flying, and you're like, "Oh, what is this?"
Yeah, no. You know, we did one. I've opened up for Co Wetzel one
gosh.
time, one time in my life, and Co's a friend of mine, and he's a really, really sweet guy. But Michael Mode, my bass player, is really good friends with Co and his whole camp, and Michael was like, "Hey man, like, you know, keep your eyes peeled, you know, because I've got a tendency to close. You know, I get into the music, I get into the song, so I close my eyes." And he's like, "Keep your eyes open at all times, because you never know if they're gonna throw something at you." I was like, "Gosh, like, you think they're not gonna like me that much?" He's like, No, it has nothing to do whether they like you or not. They're just that rowdy. They're just gonna throw stuff at you." And I was like, "Oh God, that's mortifying." He's like, "Yeah, they'll throw stuff at him too." So I'm like, "All right." Like, I was like, "Okay." So yeah, you can imagine that whole show. I was bug-eyed. I was like scanning the whole crowd, making sure there wasn't a pop fly coming my way. You know?
Yeah, you don't want to like dodge any of those either,
No.
because then if it hits your guitar, you get worried, and then
But
you're
I'd rather it
throw
hit my guitar than hit my face.
That's
for
true.
sure.
Or the throat, like
You
that would
can-
be scary.
You can always get a new guitar. You can't get a new face. Yeah.
So we're up here in Steamboat. Do you get to go skiing or while you're out here?
You know what? We haven't gone yet, but we're here for a couple more days, so we're not ruling it out. But
Okay.
But yeah, it's just been kind of straight work since we've been here.
You are a very busy man. Now I'm gonna let you go in just a second because I know you have a lot of things to do. But do you do a New Year's resolution every year? Have
you know
ever
what?
done
I
one?
don't.
Have you ever done one?
You know, I did a couple. You know, I've done it here and there, but usually if there's a big thing that I feel like I need to implement into my life, I try to get right to it. You know,
You don't just wait
I don't
around.
need it to be a new year. Honestly, if anything, I think just try to. I think one thing that I learned after last year is just take time to decompress and to rest.
Yes.
That's really important, and it's really easy for me to just like say yes to a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's good to say no and kind of take a day off. So I think if I had to say, my New Year's resolution is probably going to be to focus on my time management.
I love it.
And take care of my people. I got a great team, and take care of myself. And
You have a great band,
and,
by the way.
yes, just be grateful to the fans and grateful for being here. So
Well,
what I'm going to try to do.
I'm excited for what you have going on this year, and Y'all check out his album, by the
Thank
way,
you.
if you haven't already. There's a lot of great tunes on there, and you have one in Spanish on there.
No,
Is
but
it?
we're working on
working on
recording
it,
a song
okay.
in Spanish. Yes. So
Well, I
that
hope
should be
that
coming
comes
soon.
Yes. Well, William Beckmann, enjoy your time here in
Thank you
Steamboat.
so
Thanks for
much.
dropping in.
I appreciate it. Thank y'all.